again, it's Lauren from Big Red Barrel, and I'm here with
Michael De Plata.
Kevin Steffens.
And they've just won a BAFTA. So guys, your game is so influential, Shadow of Mordor. How do you feel that it fits into modern society at the moment? Because it absolutely consumes some people's lives.
Oh wow, I don't know. Yeah.
It's a unique question. That's great.
I think what's great is that when players can do that and they can go into this world and they can create these stories that now with YouTube and with Twitch is that they can share that with us as well, and that we as a team can get inspired by that and we can feed that back in. So I think just games are everywhere now. You've got games in your pocket, you've got games on your TV. Like the games are just so pervasive and ubiquitous that it's just awesome to be a part of that.
You are such a massive part of a very popular universe. How do you feel you fit in with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, as it's seen as a fandom at the moment with the movies rather than the books?
Again, the people have such, including us as fans, have such an incredible love of this universe, and so they want to immerse themselves and experience in different ways. And I think what's so incredibly among a lot of different things, but one of the things that's so inspirational about Lord of the Rings is that it's so rich. You can have the books, obviously, which are the foundation of everything, but then the films are amazing things, and so it's not only sort of slightly different stories, it's also entering that world in a different way. And then games, we let, there's a whole other means that people can go and enter and explore the universe. So, each one of those is a different kind of window onto Middle-earth.
How do you feel about the comparison that your game is kind of a love child between Far Cry and Assassin's Creed?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Far Cry and Batman. I was like, that sounds awesome. Really.
Like the fight mechanics is kind of Batman, but I feel like the parkour edge is more Assassin's Creed in my mind.
It's not an insult. I mean, those games are huge and popular, I think, but and every game's drawing influences from other games and all over the place. I think it's kind of interesting. I feel like if we're doing a shooter, no one would have said it. It just would have been taken for granted. So we just love this genre as well, and the action adventure genre. So I guess it just shows that maybe there's less sort of games of that type in that space.
How do you feel about people who feel that the whole Nemesis mechanic is slightly an add-on to the game and maybe negates the whole death sequence when they die and they have to go through the whole moving people on towards higher ranks in their own levels with the orcs?
Well, I mean, from our point of view, the Nemesis system is the core of the game, so it's definitely not an add-on. It's the whole game was built around the idea of constantly moving forward.
And, yeah, so death is so key to that.
And that your relationships with these enemies have to form over time for them to be meaningful. And most games, the enemies are cannon fodder. You kill them, you never get to know anything about them, you never build a relationship. And so I think the idea that the work that you've done, or you die and they got stronger, is it's part of the idea. And I think balance is an issue where there might have been times where people ended up in a situation where they were overpowered and it was frustrating to them. So poor balance is not to blame the system for poor balance if they ran into that situation. That's something I think going forward, if we improve the Nemesis system, that would be a key area to focus on, is to make sure that it's more, that aspects of it are more crafted and not random.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is those themes were really things that we wanted to strongly be inspired by within Middle-earth. So the inability to kill the Nazgul, that's sort of the way death and power and the desire for deathlessness and the pursuit of immortality. So taking those things and sort of twisting them around a bit. We're very inspired by Galadriel saying what would have happened if she'd taken the One Ring. So it's a really interesting kind of what if, and of course orc society. So where we see Cirith Ungol tear itself apart, or we so often see or the orcs, the Uruks who've got Merry and Pippin. So those two things of the theme of death and deathlessness, and also the idea of evil, made Mordor such a fascinating place for us.
So since you've won an award, how do you feel that this is going to influence you in producing further games? Are you going to take on the criticisms and influences from Mordor, or are you going to just go in a completely different direction?
I can. So obviously we can't say anything much about what we're doing next, but the reaction to the Nemesis system and to the game and to the strength of the game is really motivating. So that's absolutely something we'll want to continue to develop and explore, and something that will be really, I think, unique to Monolith as a studio as well.
And how do you feel that fans of the original Tolkien's work feel your games actually fit into the entire verse of these novels?
It depends on which fans you ask. Some fans think we fit in perfectly and they love us, and other fans think that we're blasphemy and they hate us. So,
but some people hate the movie. There's no.
Yeah, you can't.
Everyone.
I'm not just a fan of the movie, but I love your games, and I brought
Thank you.
The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so I'm one of the weird ones.
Yeah, no, there's all combinations.
It's not weird or not. It's just such, and I think the way I look at it is, so many people grew up on it, and they think of it personally, like it's their part of it is their universe, it's their story, and so when you add something to it, just some people are going to say that's not part of my story, and they're not going to like it. So I think it's kind of, it just shows how well loved and large and popular the universe is.
And how passionate people are. I would so much rather have some people hate it because they care so much than have people go, meh, that was safe,
To be honest, I did go to Hobbiton before The Hobbit came out, so I am a bit of a fangirl myself.
We got to go to Weta once as well. That was amazing.
Oh my god, that must have been so much fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.